I think you just have to invest in yourself. That's really what Juco is. It's an opportunity to get recruited again and kind of like a second chance, especially for me transferring from a Division I school. I knew I had to put everything into it the entire school year, whether that was on or off the court, to be back at the Division I level because it's very easy to just get lost.
Welcome to I'm Coached Up Real Talk Podcast, where we talk about everything from lifestyle, sports, and nothing but facts. Stay tuned. What's going on? I'm Coach Dadges. I'm Coached Up Real Talk. Today I got a local basketball phenom, Cydney Rivera, a dynamic guard who hails from New York but played high school ball here in Houston, Texas. On her basketball journey, she was able to dedicate herself and her versatility on and off the court. Cydney started her career at Townsend University, then on to Killeen College. From that point, she moved on to the Division I level, where she went to Pepperdine from 2020 to 2021, where she played 19 games and started 4. Then she transferred over through Samson, but that was during the COVID era, so she wound up transferring from Sanford to Detroit Mercer in the 23-24 season. From that point, she was selected to the UA-19 Puerto Rico team, and then later was drafted in the first round, 6th pick, abroad overseas with the Puerto Rico team. Anyway, Sid, how's everything going?
It's going well, thank you.
Thank you for taking your time out today to talk to Coach Dash and actually share your insight with these young athletes out here, especially the hoopers that's out there. So we're going to start off with some few little questions. Can you share your journey from your perspective playing ball here in Houston, and then how it led you off to get into college?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing was the way I was pushed by my coaches, whether that was high school basketball, travel team, strength and conditioning, and then my parents as well. So my work ethic that led me to a straight path to where I am today. So through high school to college to the professional level.
Cool. That transition from, because you went through the Juco round to college, that journey, touch on that a little bit, because there's a lot of kids now with the new NIL stuff. A lot of these kids probably have to take that route out of high school if they're not in the top, maybe 5% of their class. They may have to go to Juco route, but share your experience as a hooper, even though it's a little different, but the mentality you had to have going through that to get yourself ready for the Division I level.
Right. So I think you just have to invest in yourself. That's really what Juco is. It's an opportunity to get recruited again and kind of like a second chance, especially for me transferring from a Division I school. I knew I had to put everything into it the entire school year, whether that was on or off the court, to be back at the Division I level because it's very easy to just get lost.
I hear that a lot with a lot of the guys who I know went through the Juco. They kind of lose love because they've been fighting for so long. And they feel like it's like a cycle, but you have to kind of just dig deep and just, as I say, top them bootstraps and just dig in.
Absolutely.
So my next point would be, when you went abroad to play, how was that different from playing here in the States? As far as the skill level, stuff you had to pick up on right away?
Like professionally?
Yes.
I think it's definitely a different style of play, a lot more physical. And then you're dealing with older women as well, so not really used to playing like 30 plus
Right.
women, which they have like the women's strength, so a different level of just natural strength, and then the refs just letting us play physical through and through the game. I think that was the biggest adjustment for me.
Yeah. Were you able to catch on fairly quickly after 2 or 3 games, maybe a little bit longer?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And did you train your training regimen? Once I know we train here to get conditioning wise and stronger, but once you got there and you actually got exposed to it, what did you change there to help you adapt even quicker to the game?
I think just like the mental piece of it, more than anything, not being afraid to go up through contact or finish through contact or even be physical, like initiating physicality. I think that was a really big piece for me to take the next step.
Okay. And I know you have a Puerto Rican background. Was it an adjustment being there playing for the team?
Uh, yes and no.
Okay.
I
Elaborate on that for a little bit.
So the natives in Puerto Rico, they kind of have like this stigma towards some of the Puerto Ricans from the States. So I guess just like not being a fluent Spanish speaker, um, kind of gives you a little bit of an image. So just proving that, my worth there was a really big piece. So I think that was a big thing for me going to play there culturally wise, but I was already exposed to like the food, the culture. I'm very proud to be Puerto Rican. So
And what part of New York you was?
what part of New York River? West Side, Queens.
Queens. Okay, so yeah. So she got that little oomph in her, so she ain't gonna bully her on the court. So I know that helped a lot. I got a question though, based on that right there. Like, once you got there to Puerto Rico to play on a professional level, and they're using that kind of that stigma that you're Americanized Puerto Rican because being in the States, did that affect the way the teammates that you play with? Did they look at you different because of that, or did they just look at the fact you was a hooper?
I think they kind of expect you to be a little bit better than the people from the island,
Okay.
just because they feel as if you have more opportunity being in the actual states. Which, I mean, there's just different resources,
All right.
but I think your expectation is set a little higher.
Okay. Now, now you're back here, back in Houston. You're training with Trey. You're working at one of the private schools here. But as far as your individual regimen, since your first season overseas, what have you brought back to the States saying for your individual work ethic that you say, okay, I need to work on this because I noticed this when I was there. I can figure it out, but now I got a chance to actually work on it for a full all season. What were those key things that you thought that you really needed to work on?
Uh, I think catching and shooting from beyond the three is something that I'm really prioritizing right now.
Yeah.
Being able to knock down a shot from a very high percentage will definitely separate me when I go back this next season. Being able to play off the ball, catch and shoot, I think we'll gain a lot of playing time. And then the physicality piece, like that's why I'm still in the gym with you, trying to get stronger.
I appreciate that. Um, being international, like I said, you have that background from your culture, just being a Puerto Rican descent. Um, your individual, like being in Puerto Rico, just living there for months because of the team, did you notice that you were treated a little bit different, or because you were from these states, or did they just treat you as, okay, you're on the team here in town, we're gonna treat you just like you're a regular?
Yeah, I think at first they did treat me a little different, but then they realized like, I'm here to work, like I'm here, I'm proud to be Puerto Rican. I'm here to work. I'm gonna work my butt off. So then they just kind of got accustomed to realizing like, okay, she's just like us. She's not coming in thinking she's entitled. She's gonna try to work for everything that she gets.
So good, right? That's good to know because I know a lot of, even when the college kids, when they go from one school to another, you have that bias with some players who've been there, and you the new person coming in. I feel it's the same way on the next level, especially or going overseas compared to where some of the guys go, they stay here or they go overseas. They got to kind of figure that out. Um, with your experience being back here and then playing abroad, what I want to word this. Do you have any short-term or long-term goals that you say, okay, this is what I need to do other than the catch and shoot, as far as like educating these younger athletes that you're working with from the high school, getting ready for college, or even just preparing for varsity basketball? Your experience there, what did you bring back to say, let me pass it on to these young athletes so they can be prepared?
Yeah. I think the mentality piece is everything. I think if you can tell yourself like, no, like nobody's stopping me, no, nobody's gonna outwork me, no, like nobody could take away what's in me and the work I put in, and I genuinely feel like nobody could stop you, and I think I realized that a little too late in my first year overseas.
Yeah.
But that's definitely a mentality I've been passing on and going to take next year.
So I know everyone's probably want to know. I know we talked about it. I know it changes like contract wise. I know you told me you shared some light. I know you can't really speak on it because that's kind of between you and your agent. But are you looking forward to this upcoming season and where you may land? Do you have some place that you prefer other than where you were, or you don't mind? You just want to be able to go hoop.
Yeah, I loved being in Puerto Rico. I have a lot of friends there that play in the same league as me, and it's super competitive. I believe after the WNBA and EuroLeague, it's one of the most competitive for women and men, and I'm definitely going back. And where that is, I don't know.
Right.
Well, to be determined, but I know I'm gonna go back and definitely shine this next year.
Good. What advice would you give a young athlete, male or female, in basketball right now, middle school, high school? What would be one thing that you say even you could have told younger Sid that you know now being a professional?
To trust my work. Not be overly anxious, not be stressed out about, "Oh, where am I gonna go to school? Oh, where am I gonna go play professional? Oh, why is my coach not playing me this amount?" Like, just literally trust your work. If you're putting the work in every single day, whether that's for 15 to 3 hours a day, you know what you can do. You know you worked for that, so trust in your work.
All right. Well, I'm gonna share a little bit like that. A lot of you may not know, but Sia was a 4A Player of the Year twice, and also a 3-time All-State selection. So when she's in the gym working with you, guys or girls, she's walked the walk. So when she tells you to do XYZ, you may want to listen. Anyway, I'm Coach Up. Thank you, Sia, for coming out to talk with us. Now we gotta get that work.